Hello, I'm Michelle Fontaine, and this is Rollin on TV's Inside Access, where we offer you, our viewers, direct access to the executives and experts from various businesses that are important to RVers. On today's Inside Access, welcome back, Wholesale Warranties. The unique thing is, Wholesale Warranties is different because they don't sell through RV dealerships. They sell directly to you, giving you exactly what you need for an extended warranty. You also have someone to call when that time comes and you need help with claims and coverage, an extra layer of support. Before we bring up our expert from Wholesale Warranty, I would like to remind you too, please comment in the comment field and share to your newsfeed, your pages, your groups, wherever you can share this good news. It's going to be a great, fun, informative, entertaining, educational hour. I can see Stacy in the media room down there going, yep, yep, yep. Secondly, your questions or comments, put them in the comment area, as I said, and don't just hit the like button. We need to see your name because at the end of this hour, we're going to choose a winner for a 1-year roadside assistance plan. And if you already have one in place, we can have it start when yours ends. So be sure to stay on until the end of the hour because you need to acknowledge that you've won. Okay? And now, when we at Rollin on TV choose to bring up a sponsor to our sponsor platform, you can rest assured that that company or product represents one of, if not the best product in that field. Wholesale Warranties is very different, as I said earlier, in the world of extended warranties. We researched and approached them to be a sponsor because we believe they are the best. And with over 500 positive reviews on the internet, that attests to that fact. And now, joining me today is Jose Moni, executive producer of Rollin on TV. Hey, Jose.
Hello, Michelle.
And now let's bring up our expert from Wholesale Warranties. Stacy Ritchie-Roman is the marketing director, and boy, she really knows her stuff. Hi, Stacy.
Hello. Hi. Thanks so much for having me on.
You're welcome. Now, Jose, you had some questions and some comments to make first. So why don't we go through those things first?
Okay. I'm going to put Stacy on the map here. Michelle started touching on a few things there that make wholesale warranties a little different. But, in all honesty, like she was mentioning, one of the things we do before we bring on a new sponsor is try to get very comfortable with that sponsor, understand what their products are, what they do, and what their reputation is. And I can honestly sit here and say that the reputation your company has is phenomenal. It is really good. And you happen to be in a market that, in general, people are very skeptical of. Okay. And for good reason. I mean, for years, extended warranties were run by large insurance companies or whatever, that this was a portion of their business, or was run by some, I guess the best word, unscrupulous people that would start these extended warranty policies and disappear. But extended, the way you people operate is basically based on your boss's philosophy and what happened to him, with his experiences. Can you tell us a little bit about how the company started, why it started, and how he's gone along building this the way he has?
Absolutely. So I think a lot of our strength as a company comes from the fact that Jeff Shelton, our owner and CEO, he was a full-time RVer. And he got into the market, the RV warranty market, kind of the traditional way. He was offering policies to dealerships and helping them sell the policy through the dealer. And he was seeing a couple of different things that, he wasn't a huge fan of. And he thought, man, if I could just cut out the middleman, get a fair priced, reliable coverage direct to an RVer, I think that would really benefit them the most. Now, at the same time, he's a full-time RVer. So he's going through the ups, RVing is amazing, and the downs, breakdowns are not. And what you're looking at right there is our big red 40-foot Wholesale Warranties RV on a tow truck, because, you know, these things happen, RVs break down, and that's why we're here. And so he had the experiences as an RVer to know how much of a pain it can be and how expensive it can be when those RVs break down. And he thought, you know, who better to add something to the RV community, to go direct to the RVer, and to add that layer of customer support and say, you know what, we're here for you, give us a call. As a broker, we don't actually, you know, handle the claims. We set you up with a policy we believe in, but we don't disappear. So if you buy a 7-year policy, you've got Wholesale Warranties for 7 years, and we're going to provide that additional customer service for you and be there for you when you're in situations like this that are very unfortunate. And so, again, I just think a lot of who we are is based on doing the right thing by the RVer, getting them matched up with coverage that actually, you know, is there for them when they need it most. And then if anything goes wrong, or they have questions or anything along the way, Wholesale Warranties is still here. We're your experts. You know, we're along for the journey with you.
Thank you. That's great. Okay. One other point you wanted to make, Jose.
Yeah, the thing being that, you know, a lot of people get their extended warranties from dealerships. Okay. But actually, when you're buying it from a dealership, that becomes really an extra profit for the dealer, and they're just going to sell you a policy, whatever they can do. But with your company, you actually tailor the policy to that person. It isn't just selling a bunch of added packages. You tailor a program for them. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So when you work with Wholesale Warranties, again, we're a broker, so we have access to several different policies and levels of coverage. And when you get a quote, you're going to get set up with an RV warranty expert who's going to get to know who you are as an RVer. Not every RVer is built the same, so your policy shouldn't be built the same either. And so we're going to learn who you are, how you use your RV, what your desired level of risk is with repairs, and set you up with a policy that actually makes sense for you, rather than just, you know, maybe giving you the highest cost policy that, you know, has the highest profit. And we're going to educate you on it too. So we want every single person that buys from us to know exactly what's covered and exactly what isn't. We don't want you to have surprises. We want you to be able to make confident decisions. So we are experts in RV warranties, and that's something that you're only going to get with Wholesale Warranties. When you go through a dealer, they're experts in selling you an RV. They know the ins and outs of your RV, but they're not in the business to sell you the warranty. It's that add-on, you know, policy right at the end there. And so when you work with Wholesale Warranties, you really work with an expert. And I think that helps you make a confident decision in moving forward with your RV protection.
Yeah. Now, so if somebody has a problem, the difference being you don't call the dealership because they can't help you. I guess they got to put you in touch with whoever has the policy. But with your company, when you call, you're the one that handles all of that for us, right? I mean,
so with the claim, you would actually call your warranty company directly. But if you ever had any questions, or even say your warranty company that we set you up with says this isn't covered, and you're looking at your contract and you're thinking this really should be covered, come back to us. We have an entire staff dedicated just to claim support, to customer service. And so we'll track down, you know, contract numbers, we'll track down answers to questions, and we will act as a liaison between your repair facility and your warranty company to ensure that every claim that should be paid gets paid.
That kind of reminds me of years ago when you had an insurance broker that represented you rather than representing the company.
Exactly.
Now,
yep.
I've seen some of these extended warranty policies, and you know, the policy may be 3 or 4 pages, but one whole page sometimes is stipulations. Mm-hmm. You know, and one of them that gets me is like, if something goes wrong with your RV, and if you're within 100 miles of the dealership, that you have to go back to that dealership to get the repairs done. Right. It's kind of crazy. I mean, 100 miles is quite a ways. You know, when you're talking about a drive, if you can get there, is that any of the stipulations you have?
No, so we build our policies, you know, first and foremost, we're not RV mechanics. Don't bring your RV to us. We can't help you out. So we build our policies for the active traveler, the person that, you know, is getting out there. And we want them to be easy to use. We want you to actually be able to use your policy. And so you can take your RV to any licensed repair facility, United States or Canada, and we include mobile techs in that as well.
Yeah, that's a big point, the whole mobile tech thing.
I was just going to ask that. So you do work with a lot of mobile techs and
Absolutely. And there's a lot of reasons that you would want to use a mobile tech. Things like not having to have your unit towed if you like your slide out is stuck out, not wanting to pack up when you just settled into a campground. And right now, I think we all know RVing is just very popular, which is amazing, but it means that those dealerships and those repair facilities are going to be very busy and have long waits. And so if you can get an expert, a certified RV mechanic to come out to you, we'll work with them. We're happy to do so.
Great. We've got some people online. I see lots of eyeballs up there. Make sure if you're watching this that you comment. Just, let us know, type something in so we have your name there so that you can be in the drawing at the end. All right. Brian says hi, Brian Wood. And we've got Larry Freebird Nace on too. Hi, Larry. Great.
Okay. Michelle, do you have some questions that got sent in?
I do. Let's pop you down for a little bit.
Why don't you pop on those for a little bit? Yeah.
Sure. All right. So, Stacy, I think the first question that I hear the most of is, I have RV insurance. Why do I need an extended warranty? Can you explain that?
Absolutely. So your RV insurance is there in the event that you have damages to your RV that are due to collision or accidents, weather events, physical damage, right? But if your refrigerator just stops working, or your air conditioning or your slide out stops going out, your insurance isn't going to step in to pay that. That's not what it's built for. And so extended warranties are specifically built to cover you for those mechanical and electrical failures that you're inevitably going to face while you're traveling. And so what we do, we step in, we pay the repair bill, you pay a small deductible, and we take care of those repair bills for you.
Mm-hmm. Look at this picture I found on the internet. Can you imagine seeing an RV going down the street with their slides out in a snowstorm?
Not a good time. And slide outs are honestly one of the claims we pay the most often. Those things fail. You use them a lot. Those motors really go. So it's a good one to have coverage for.
Let me pop up the chart you gave us about the top most common failures. And let's have you just talk about that for a minute.
Sure. So what you'll see here, the top most common failures are things that you really count on. So your leveling system, your slide outs, your air conditioning, your generator, those things you use all the time while you're traveling. And that use is kind of what makes them fail often, right? Things just wear and tear. And RVs are built by human hands. They are all of these amazing appliances that make being in an RV so comfortable, and they're going down the road, 60 miles an hour, they're shaking and rattling, and that just means things fail. And so you'll see the cost of those things are really going up. And that has a lot to do with parts being more expensive, but also the demand on labor means that your hourly labor rate is only going to go up. And so you'll also see electrical. Electrical is something that, there are so many wiring harness, electrical items in your RV, and those things fail often. So you'll see those are the top 5. We pay them all the time. We see them come through every day. And so a good reason, to look into RV protection is knowing that those are going to be the costs you face on things that fail very often.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So as you said earlier, if you're at a campground, you're all set up, and it's not just a motorhome, travel trailer, any kind of RV. You've got that fridge stocked with food. So you can actually get a hold of a mobile tech and have them come to the campground and take care of this. And you've got great relationships with the mobile techs, don't you?
We do. And that's one of those things, we're here to help you out. So if you're looking for a mobile tech, or, you're having issues with your mobile tech contacting the warranty company, that's where our liaison comes in. So give Wholesale Warranties a call, and we will walk you through finding somebody and, getting things back into working order so that you can enjoy your RV. That's what you bought it to do. You didn't, buy it to sit in a repair facility. So that's one of those really big benefits that we built into our policies.
Good, good. The other thing I think is very important is the different types of warranty that you offer. As we said before, when you buy an RV, the RV dealership will try to sell you one of their plans. Right. And the pressure can be difficult. And you're not necessarily getting the plan you should have.
Exactly.
So, and I can speak personally because I am covered by Wholesale Warranties with our travel trailer, a 25-foot travel trailer. And depending on how good you are maintaining your RV, right? There are some pretty handy people out there now, so they don't need all the bells and whistles. So talk a little bit about the different types of coverages you have, Stacy.
Sure. So if you are somebody that just doesn't want to worry about paying a claim, about repairing it yourself, you just want to be able to go to a repair facility or call Mobile Tech and have the warranty take care of it, you're going to want to go with an exclusionary plan.
Which is what I have.
Yes, absolutely. It's your top of the line coverage. And one of the great things about it is it's also the easiest to understand. So when you're looking at, these 16-page contracts, what you look at with an exclusionary policy is what is not covered. If it's not on that list, it's covered, you're good to go. And so you really only have to pay attention to that list of exclusions. Now, one step down from that, and so also a little bit less cost, is going to be your listed component or comprehensive coverage. Still covers most of the major mechanical and electrical components, and a really great option to save a little bit of money and still have really solid coverage on your RV.
So
now,
if somebody takes care of most of their standard kind of maintenance, then having a listed component plan might be right for them, correct?
Exactly, yeah. And so if you can, do some repairs and you're going to fix things like maybe those slide outs or, awning motors or some of these repairs that we see, you can even pare back from there and just get a powertrain only plan. This is for somebody that just wants to prevent paying that $25,000, $30,000 engine repair bill. And so that's a really great option for somebody that does most of their own repairs and is like, hey, I don't need you to cover my AC, but I'm probably not going to fix my diesel engine, right? And so we have that powertrain only plan that makes a really great fit for some RVers that just want that catastrophic coverage. And then coach only would be kind of, the opposite of that. So we'll exclude your engine. Maybe you feel really confident in the manufacturer's warranty, it's brand new, but you want everything else inside covered, your appliances, your heating and cooling components. You can go ahead and get a coach only policy, and that offers really great coverage as well. So again, it's about tailoring to who you are as an RVer, how handy you are, what kind of claims you want to worry about and what you don't.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just so nice to be out of the pressure. You've spent all day buying your RV or so much time, and you do all the paperwork, and you've been in that RV dealership for the whole day. Right. It takes a whole day, it seems like. And then when you're tired and you just want to, yay, I bought an RV, then you get plunked down in front of the finance guy, and he's going to try to pressure you into signing on the dotted line for something that might not be right for you. So taking the pressure off and letting people come to you, connect with you, and we'll get into how that works in a minute. But tell me, Stacy, who is eligible for an RV warranty?
So we have very extensive coverage. So on a motorhome, we can actually cover motorhomes 20 model years old and newer. So right now that's going to be a 2001 unit and newer. And so really we can go back, if you have a used unit, if you're buying a private party used unit, we can still offer you coverage. On towables, we can only go back 15 model years. So still really extensive coverage there. I think a lot of people believe that they can only get a warranty when you are buying at the dealership. And that's just not the case. We're here for you at any point in your RV journey. And so really wide eligibility there.
And that you're right. You're absolutely right. Most people think they can only get it on a brand new RV. So that's very good point. And so here's the thing. When I bought my RV, for example, it had a full warranty for a year or 3 years, partial warranties, whatever. So when you're covered for a period of time, when should people get this extended warranty? Should they wait until that warranty runs out before they do that?
So that's going to come down to personal preference, but I'll tell you what I would do. You will never get a longer term for a better price than when the unit is brand new. So these extended warranty companies that we work with, they know that they aren't going to pay any claims that first year. You have full manufacturer coverage, right? And so if you lock it in there, they know they're taking on a little less risk. They'll give you a 7-year term and they'll give it at the best rate they're ever going to give it to you. So for me, I'm going to get the value, right? So I'm going to buy right away. However, we can still offer you coverage if your manufacturer warranty has run out or is close to running out. The only difference then is we do a pre-purchase inspection, just make sure everything is looking good and in working order before we can activate your warranty policy.
And I think we paid, this goes to how much does an RV warranty cost. So let me tell you in the audience that we have a Grand Design 22 RVE 25-foot travel trailer. And we bought it when the coverage was still in place. The original coverage was still in place. It was getting towards the end of the year. I think we were halfway through the year. And I believe we paid, I want to say $1,700 for 7 years of coverage. Exclusionary coverage. I mean, covering everything except, preventive maintenance kind of things.
Right.
And that makes us feel so good. So I just wanted to share that. But how much does an RV warranty cost, Stacy?
Yeah, so that's a really tough one to answer, and it's probably everybody's very first question. I can tell you what goes into the pricing of your policy. We offer coverage, again, every type of towable RV, your class A, B, and C. And so what it comes down to is a few specifics about your RV. Your mileage, if you do have a motorhome, is going to come into play with your pricing. So lower mileage, you can assume is going to be a lower cost. Also the model year, so that again goes into that, do you have manufacturer warranty coverage? How often has this RV been used? So your model year. Your make, model, and value. So it's a lot pricier to fix a $500,000 motorhome than maybe a 20-foot travel trailer, right? So that's going to go into the cost of your policy as well. So we're looking at age, value, the type of RV you have. That goes to both the class and the make and model. And all of that will kind of come together to get you an RV warranty cost. And then, of course, the level of coverage. So again, that powertrain only policy doesn't cover a whole lot, but it comes with a lot less cost than an exclusionary policy. So that's kind of what goes into pricing out your RV. And the great thing is we offer free quotes. So there's no harm in checking it out and seeing what it's going to cost for your unit at this time.
Let's talk about the exclusionary coverage. Tell the audience what is not covered in an exclusionary warranty.
Sure. And so it comes down to, we kind of put them in categories, right? So again, your RV insurance, that covers comp and collision, your, accidents, physical damage, and weather, catastrophic incidents, fire, vandalism. All of that's going to go to your insurance, so we won't cover that in the warranty. We also don't cover aesthetic items because, again, warranties are made for covering mechanical and electrical components. If it doesn't serve a mechanical purpose, then it's not going to be covered. So that's going to be your paint, your fabric, your windows, things that don't go, right? And then your preventative maintenance. So things like your oil changes, changing out your filters, cleaning things, that isn't covered by the warranty. We're here for failures and breakdowns. A good way to look at what would be covered and what wouldn't. A good example I always use is your awning. Your awning has fabric, and if that tears or breaks in some capacity, not a mechanical component, we're not going to cover that. However, the motor that sends your awning in and out, if that wears down and starts failing, that is a mechanical component, and so that we would cover under an extended warranty.
Very good. If I buy coverage, where can I take my RV for repairs? We did touch on that a little bit earlier, but why don't you go over that again, Stacy?
Sure. So any licensed repair facility in the United States or Canada, including mobile techs. People often ask, what does licensed mean? And that just means, you have to be in the business of working on RVs, have a tax ID number. You can't do your own repairs. You can't have your very handy neighbor do your repairs. It does have to be a business that is in business to do RV repair. But other than that, we are totally open, and we want you to be able to take it to whoever is convenient for you, wherever you happen to break down.
And the fact that Canada is included, that's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
We know a lot of people that travel up there, and those are big trips that you've planned, and worked so hard for. So we want to be able to help you out up there as well.
So we have a question in the audience. Do you offer truck camper coverage?
We do. Yep, absolutely.
All right. And is there anything different about truck camper coverage?
No, it's going to be similar where we have those different levels of coverage available. There is standardized terminology in a warranty contract. So you might see some things on there that a fifth wheel would have that a truck camper won't. But keep in mind that the price that was given to you takes into account that it was a truck camper. And so we're going to cover the things that your unit actually has.
So the truck camper, are you covering just the camper or the truck too?
Just the camper in the RV warranty. However, we do offer auto policies. So if you would like to get coverage on your truck as well, we can help you out with that. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Oh, what if I sell my RV while the warranty is still active? How does that work?
Yeah, so that happens a lot. We know people kind of go through RVs and find one that they like a little better. Maybe you go to a show and you fall in love. It happens all the time. So it's a really simple process. There's a couple of different ways that can go. If you're going to sell your RV to a private party, to another individual, you can actually just transfer your coverage to them and it'll run out the clock with them, the new owner. If you do trade your RV in, then what you'll do is cancel and you'll get a prorated refund of, how much time you have left. And then we can take that and we can send you a check. Or if you are going to get a new unit, we'd be happy to apply that towards the policy on your new unit. And we hope you'll stay with us for your coverage.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, here's a familiar name, Carol Jean. Hi, Carol. She asks, do you have coverage for units that sit in the same spot and not move?
We do. So if it is a motorhome or a towable RV, so not a destination trailer, not a manufactured home, but an actual RV, then we can cover you even if your camper if you're not taking it on the road.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the mobile techs would come in handy.
Absolutely. Right? Yeah. Really going to love it for those. Absolutely.
Good. Let's see. We're going through these questions very quickly. Oh, all right. Well, here we go. How do I know you're the real thing? I've read horror stories about warranty companies. I know Joe touched on that in the beginning, but let's talk about that a little bit.
Sure. So again, a lot of it comes back to our beginnings. We saw those horror stories. We saw people, pay for warranties that weren't worth the paper they were written on. And we have done everything that we can in the last over 15 years that we've been in business to ensure that we are the antithesis of that. We are doing everything right and putting the RVer first. But don't take my word for it, right? So go online, look for a couple of things. See if RV industry fellows recommend us. So, I think everybody here can trust that Rollin on TV probably wouldn't work with us if that was the reputation that we had. And ask your fellow RVers as well. Check out online RV forums or review sites and see what people who have actually made claims with us have to say, because those are the ones you want to listen to. A couple of other things.
When Joe was researching Wholesale Warranties, he actually researched, Jose, I should say, he actually researched and approached you guys because he couldn't find a single negative review about Wholesale Warranties. And we know reviews are pretty important because you can't manipulate them. Those are facts.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. We only work with, those review sites where we can't touch it. We want you to be able to tell your story. And if somebody doesn't have a good, time with us or has issues making a claim, we're also going to call you and try to make it right. Because that's what we're here to do. We are here to serve the RV community. We want you to get the most out of your policy. And as you're looking at just any RV company, look at us. But if you're going to look at some other ones or look at your dealer program, look for things like a fully insured program. So that it's going to be there and it has money behind it to pay those really expensive claims. And again, that reputation in the RV community, I think we all know RVers are super helpful and super chatty. And if somebody's not serving the RV community, you're absolutely going to hear about it when you chat with RVers. So please go and talk to them.
Right. Carol Jean is asking, what's the name of the insurance company? And please contact me regarding this. So it's Wholesale Warranties, Carol Jean. And she also asked earlier, can a person cover a deck on the side of a stationary RV?
Probably not. That sounds like something that wouldn't serve a mechanical or electrical, purpose. Yeah. And if it does have to come with the RV as well. So things that you've added to your RV, if it wasn't, dealer or factory installed and meant to be on an RV, we wouldn't be able to cover that.
Mm-hmm. And of course, your URL is wholesalewarranties.com. Can people actually go to your website and start a quote online, or do they pick up the phone and actually talk to a person?
Either way, so you can absolutely submit your information online. We'll just need your RV details. But we want you to chat with our warranty experts. We want them to be able to get to know you as an RVer and set you up with a plan that really makes sense for you. So please give us a call. Please submit your information online. We can email as well. We want to meet you guys where you are and share information, help educate you in whatever way makes sense for you.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember the name of the young man that I worked with. He was fairly new at the company, and he was just so helpful. Do you remember who it was, Stacy?
I believe it was Art, and all of our warranty.
Yes.
Yeah, all of our warranty specialists. You know, we train to the contracts, but we're here to help. We're here to educate, and so you're not going to get a hard sales push from us. We are here to help you make decisions and give you the information you need, including, and this is something I should mention too, never buy a warranty that you haven't gotten a full copy of the contract from. If who you're buying from does not want you to see the black and white of that contract when they're asking for money, probably don't go with them. You know, we want you to be able to see exactly what you're buying and to understand it.
Really, truly. Okay, let's see. Do the mobile techs handle inspections for state title transfer? It's a good question.
No. Yeah. So we do inspections, but they're just pre-warranty inspections. So they look at the mechanical and electrical components to see if they're in working condition, but we don't work with any state or licensing type of inspections. Those our inspectors are not here to do.
But the mobile techs, do they handle inspections for state title transfers? It's not something you would pay for, you're saying.
No,
but
no, we don't really get involved with those. So yeah. I actually don't know. That one stumps me. That's an RV industry thing that we haven't really touched on too much because it doesn't affect our ability to sell or not sell the warranty. Great.
Oh, let's see. What else do we have here? Here's an interesting picture. Is that a mobile tech underneath a motorhome?
Yeah, that was our Wholesale Warranties motorhome. We were actually on our way to a show in Wisconsin, drove out from San Diego to Wisconsin and broke down at about, I want to say 1 or 2 in the morning and had to call a tow truck. And I'll tell you, we can't take the stress out of it, right? Like breaking down is always stressful. Nobody wants that to be how your trip goes, or especially when you're on the road. We were in the middle of nowhere. But it's nice to know that you're not going to pay for it. It's nice to know that you have an 800 number to call, this being roadside assistance because it was the middle of the night, but somebody that you can count on to point you in the right direction when things just aren't going the way that you planned for them to go.
Well, one thing about breaking down like this, though, you have your bathroom and you have a bed and you have food.
It's true. It's better than right? You're really set up for success compared to like maybe a car breakdown or something like that.
True. And if you know you're covered, I mean, you absolutely, it is stressful. So let me just pop up a personal picture here, the one that we used for this promotion. And this is actually my rig that broke down 5 miles from home. We had traveled all the way across country, and the wheel popped off and bounced across the street. So we were fortunate in many, many ways of the way this happened. And I got some great marketing pictures.
Silver lining.
Yeah, I mean, the stress, you're driving along and pop, what? And you see your wheel bounce across the street. But that was a warranty that was taken care of by Grand Design. But if not, you would have been taking care of that, I imagine.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so it is stressful. And that's another reason that, we want to be here and have that additional customer support so that you have somebody you can call. Even if you're in the moment, like, I have no idea where I put my warranty documents. I'm on the side of the road. Please, somebody help me out. Give us a call. We're going to get you the right number. We're going to, point you in the right direction. Make things, easy if we can, and at least not terrible, right?
At the end of this hour, we are, as we said before, going to pick a 1-year roadside assistance winner from the people that are on. And I know that Jose is going to be the one announcing who the winner is. So he's working in the background, collecting names. And so please, if you are watching, make sure you type something in so you can be on that winners list. Now, it is true, Stacey, if they have something already in place, we can start, if they win, we can start it at the end of that one so that it continues?
Yep,
Good.
absolutely. Be happy to.
Oh, wow. We've covered a lot so far, and we are at the half-hour mark.
All right.
So, what other questions do you hear a lot of, Stacy?
Let's see. What do we get a lot of? I think when to reach out. So sometimes, like I mentioned, you can get a policy from us even if you have a used unit or you're purchasing a used unit or private party. And so we always recommend, even if you're just in the process of narrowing down a couple of RVs, give us a call and start your education now so that your education doesn't start in that F&I office at the dealership, right? You can go in kind of armed with a lot of information, armed with that education, and be able to feel a lot more comfortable in those situations. So it's, again, free to get a quote, and you just, provide us with your information. We'll hook you up with an extended warranty expert, and they'll be able to kind of look into all of those different RVs that you're looking at. And as you narrow it down, set you up with a policy and set you up with an education to answer all of your questions. So the sooner the better. You don't want to make like a split decision. And if you, have decided to go with us before you pick up the RV, you can roll off the lot with coverage, right? Which is kind of nice to know that the second you take ownership, the second you have those keys, we've gotten everything taken care of on our end, and you're covered as soon as you drive off the lot.
That is good. And that brings to mind another situation, personal situation. We had an RV before this with a different insurance company, warranty company, that we got through the dealer. All right. And when we had a few items that needed addressing, we were actually told by the dealer, well, you probably should wait until you have a few more because of the deductibles, the deductible, the way it worked. And it was just bizarre. You had to have so many items in order to have one deductible, where with the plan we have with you guys, it's always just one deductible.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's per visit, not per item. And so if you go in with one thing to fix, or you go in with 15 things to fix, hopefully that's not the case, but either way, you're only paying one deductible. And while we do have a lot of deductible options, most often we're going to recommend something a little bit lower. So you're really getting a lot of value out of, your coverage. And so $100 or $200 deductible is usually the sweet spot. Still really fair pricing, but that way, if you have a couple of items or maybe some lower dollar items, you're not paying out of pocket because you didn't hit your $1,000 deductible or something like that.
Right. So let's see. Joe said he's got a couple of questions, but I think we've answered them about the truck camper and just the truck camper. We actually have Jeff Johnston is he's just acquiring a brand new Palomino truck camper. So he may be interested in your services too. So when you talk about the information that people need to provide to you, is that the VIN number?
So we won't need the VIN until you've decided to buy. We want to make it as easy as possible. So we just need that year, make, model, your current mileage, and the value, and then your personal information, so we know how best you would like to be contacted. And some information that helps us to get you a quote that makes sense would be, are you a full-timer or not? Or did you recently purchase, or have you owned this for a while? And so that helps us narrow down options for you as well.
Well, that's a really, really good point. There are more and more full-timers.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the road. So you will cover them as well. It's just probably going to be a little more price-wise because they're on the road more.
It actually currently does not affect your price with us. So the warranty companies we work with, and it's kind of one of those things, you use it a lot. And so full-timers definitely run into a lot of breakdowns, and probably more than anybody else need to get back on the road because that's their life. Of anybody to be stuck in a service bay, you don't want to be a full-timer. Right. But another time of year when we see a huge influx of claims is after people who don't full-time have stored their units for the winter. RVs are made to move, and keeping them moving, using those items, that actually really helps to keep them in good working condition. And so when you do have your RV stored for the winter, that springtime, we always recommend go get your RV a couple weeks before your first trip is planned. Get ahead of it because we do run into a ton of breakdowns right in when travel season is getting into full swing. And so, yes, we do absolutely cover full-timers, any type of RVer, you know, we're able to cover you. And right now it doesn't affect the cost. So that's great.
That is really great. Okay, here's a question. If I upgrade my RV with new furniture or new appliances, are those new items covered under your original extended warranty?
So that goes back to if they're dealer or manufacturer installed, and that the RV is kind of built, the manufacturer has said these types of you know, add-ons can go into the unit, and it comes to you with them. So if you're going in and you're like, I like this floor plan, I like this unit, but I want the upgraded fridge and I want the upgraded this, and that's how your RV gets delivered to you, awesome, we're all in. But if you just go buy a TV at Best Buy and, you know, put a nicer TV into your unit, unfortunately that wouldn't be covered because those are just like personal upgrades that you've made. And a lot of the times the things that people add on to their RVs aren't actually made to be in an RV. And so they can, you know, affect how those things work and why they would break down.
Okay, so when that happens, they go to an RV dealer. So if they buy RV recliners and take out the jackknife sofa, for example, and put the RV recliners in, that wouldn't be covered.
It wouldn't, but mostly because furniture isn't covered. So that's specific.
Okay, you get out of that one.
Yeah, but an example that we see a lot is people that add on solar panels to their unit before they take delivery, right? They like that unit, but they want to upgrade to a solar panel. As long as that's dealer manufacturer installed before you take possession of the unit, you're all good. We're going to cover that. But things that get added on after.
Supply paperwork that they submit to you or keep in their folder?
Yeah, it usually comes with all of your initial paperwork. And so you would just, if there were questions on the warranty company side, you would want to have those available.
Okay, good. So it's no extra work on the owner's part. They just keep that piece of paper and they're covered. Good.
Right, exactly.
If replacing a component under warranty, do you pay to replace a new component, or do you try and use a used part if available?
So it actually can go either way. The warranty companies, most of the contracts, and this is true for dealer policies as well, they are like, kind, and quality. And so we make sure that it's, you know, something that has, if it is a used or remanufactured part, we don't see it too often. Sometimes we do use those, but it's from reputable sources. We get those parts from people that we've vetted. But a lot of the times it's going to be a brand new part as well. So it kind of depends on the claim, depends on the age of your unit. Sometimes we do have to use used parts if you do have an older RV, because that's what's going to work best in the claim. So it really depends on the specifics of the claim.
Okay. All right. So that same question came through from Ern Snook. Do you get new parts or used parts on a claim? So there you go. She just answered for you. Does cost of these policies increase with our age? Our age, Terry, meaning our age or the unit's age? It could be either way, right?
Yeah. So on unit age, I'm going to assume it's unit age, and then let me know if I'm wrong. It does. And so that's why we always at Wholesale Warranties will recommend locking in the longest term available to you when you do call us. And so on a brand new unit, that's going to be 7 years. During the course of that 7 years, we cannot raise the cost of your coverage due to age, due to mileage, due to how many claims we're paying on behalf of you. You are locked in for those 7 years. Used units, we can usually do 3 or 4 years at a time. So lock in that coverage. Once you're set up and you have that coverage, we can't raise your rate.
So Terry says both. So what about the driver's age with the motorhome? Nope. How does that work?
No, absolutely not. That's not something that we take into account when we're pricing your policy.
That's a good answer, right, Terry? Okay, this one is from Jeff Johnston, who just is he's got the truck, he's getting the camper soon. He says, I'll be adding accessories like rooftop solar panels on the Palomino. Would that type of work done to better than industry standard practices affect warranty coverage of the factory produced part on the roof, weather sealing, and so on?
So I'm thinking that's how add-ons will affect other covered components. So I'm going to answer it that way. And if I don't answer your question correctly, shoot me an email, or I will, reply to your comment afterwards, and I'll get you hooked up with our claim specialist. He's, smarter than I am. But something that we hear a lot, and I'll kind of take this, it's a little bit easier of an approach. a lot of people will paint or redo the interior of their RV to make it theirs, right? So they'll do a full RV renovation. And so we actually work closely with an affiliate, RV Inspiration, who specializes in redoing the inside of your RV. And so something we worked with her when we brought her on as an affiliate was to let her know, you can still get coverage, even if the inside of that RV looks completely different than the day you bought it. However, the things that you add on, the things that you change, they can't affect the mechanical function of something that existed when you picked up that unit or when that unit was built. And so as long as the add-ons or the changes that you're making don't interfere with how your air conditioner runs or how your engine runs or how these mechanical components run, then you should be all set, and that's not going to affect your coverage in any way. Add-ons that do change your coverage or would invalidate your coverage, one that we don't see it too often anymore. We did a little bit more when I first started. People will make changes to how their engine runs to try and better their gas mileage. Now, if you change how that engine was manufactured to run, we won't be able to cover, and it would actually invalidate your coverage. So those are the types of changes that we're concerned about.
That makes sense, right? So Joe writes, so if you buy a 2-year-old RV and the dealer installed a new reefer or oven, are those dealer installed components covered? I think the answer is yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good. I'm learning.
Yeah, we're gonna steal you. We're gonna steal you for wholesale warranties pretty soon here. You're becoming an expert.
Oh, no. I have much more fun with Jose.
Darn.
But we love having you as a sponsor. And we're not saying all this or having you on just because you are a sponsor, because we really truly believe in your method of selling RV warranty. Sounds like auto warranty. If the modified part does not affect a covered part, it doesn't affect the coverage.
Perfect. Said
Said.
Like a couple of true experts. You got it.
Yep, that's Jeff. All right. Come on now. I know you guys have more questions. Come on, let's hear them.
Something that does come up that is kind of similar that I'll touch on, because we do sell to people who buy used units or private party sales, a lot of the times they'll ask us, do I need a copy of all of the oil changes that were done for the last 10 years that somebody else owned this unit, or a copy of all of the, upkeep on the rig or anything like that? And the answer is no. That's one of those reasons that we do that pre-purchase inspection. And so we give you a clean bill of health if your RV is in good condition when we run that inspection, and then your warranty is kind of starting fresh. And so anything after that, you would want to keep copies of your maintenance or anything that you have done, but you're not responsible for what the previous owner did.
That's a good question. Where do these pre-inspections take place?
So that's another great thing. We come to you. So they're all mobile inspectors, and we will send them out to wherever is convenient for you. If that's your house where you store the RV, or even if you are in the process of purchasing, we'll go to the dealership. We'll work with the dealership for a walkthrough, and we'll send that inspector right out to you.
Perfect. How long does that normally take? Say somebody buys an RV, they get it home, they want to get it covered from you. How long would that process take?
So usually it's just a couple of days to get that inspection set up. If you are purchasing the unit, again, we do like to cover you from the second you drive off the lot. So if you can give us a couple of days notice, we'll get that inspector right out to the dealer. The inspection itself takes 2 to 3 hours. We do, a quick test drive. We check all the mechanical, electrical components. And then once we get that and everything looks good, we send you information, your contract by DocuSign. You sign it on your end, really easy to do, and you are all set and you're covered. So it can be a really quick process. And yeah, we try to make it as easy as possible to get coverage and be able to go into your adventures, the reason you bought your RV, with some peace of mind.
We have a couple more questions, but let me just ask you. I forgot what I was going to ask you. Okay.
No problem.
Terry's asking, I have a 2012 Winnebago Journey Class A. He purchased it used. I have no clue if prior owner did any mods that would invalidate. I bought from a dealer. How would that work?
Yeah, so it's really, at this point, very rare that would happen. Usually it's something we would probably catch in the inspection. That's another great, part of that inspection is our inspectors know what to look for, what looks normal, what doesn't. So hopefully we would catch that in the inspection. But I have been with Wholesale Warranties for 11, 12 years now, and I have not seen that come up. So I really don't think it's something that you need to worry about. We've processed a lot of claims. And these days it's very rare to find somebody that tries to do those mods that really affect how that RV runs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do any of your warranties last longer than 7 years?
Not right now at one time, but at the end of your 7 years, we're happy to throw another 3 or 4 on. So you can come back to us and renew coverage with, the current, pricing and mileage and all of that. We'll get some updated information from you. But 7 years right now is the longest we can lock in at one time.
Okay. And that's for a newer RV, is that correct?
Newer RV. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then on the used, 3 to 4, depending on the age.
Okay. All right. That's still 4 years, 4 seasons. Yeah. That's not bad. Is there a fee for the inspection?
No, so it's something that we have built into the policy. It's part of your coverage, and so that there's not a fee, an additional fee for you. If you take a down payment, and if you decide after the inspection that you don't want the warranty, there are some fees that you wouldn't get the refund back on that because we did send the inspector out. The inspection was completed, but it is something that's built into the policy.
Mm-hmm. Are inspections required on a new unit?
No. So if you have a brand new unit, you've got manufacturer coverage, we're not too worried about it.
Right. So there you go, Ern. Jeff writes, our camper is being fitted with some non-standard upgraded parts at the factory. Do the parts need to be strictly on the factory spec sheet as original equipment to be covered, or are they covered as long as they come from the factory that way? Upgraded water heater and furnace come to mind.
So my gut is saying yes, as long as it's, factory installed. We usually don't have any issues with that. If there are specific water heaters and things that you're curious about, again, super happy to answer that by email and get you hooked up with our internal claims expert. He knows those policies like the back of his hand, and he'll be happy to help you out with that.
Yeah, I would think if the things they're putting in are better than the things they've taken out.
Yeah,
right?
And if the factory is willing to do it, generally it's not going to cause a problem. So we usually are not too worried about that.
Generally,
yeah. So that's something that we would, want to look at the specifics of it. But my gut says that's probably not going to be an issue.
Good. And knowing Jeff, he's going to do. He is so particular. This is going to be a truck camper that is seen on many, many, many Rollin on TV segments. Trust me, it's going to be awesome. Beautiful. And he actually painted the whole graphic, and now the Graphics Unlimited is actually putting it on his truck camper. It's really going to be very unique.
Nice. Exciting.
Yes. So, yeah. Do you have a list we can get of approved mobile technicians, or is it on your website?
Right now, we don't have a list because we want to keep it open. We want you to be able to find who's in your area. For mobile techs, what we usually recommend is if you're staying at a campground, most campgrounds have a mobile tech that they have a relationship with. So if you ask, at the front desk, usually they're going to be able to point you in the right direction. If you are somewhere that you really don't know and you really need help, you can call in to Wholesale Warranties, and our claim staff will be happy to help you find somebody in your area.
Mobile techs are really coming into their own now because of how busy RV dealer service stations are. They just can't get to the customers. So, yeah, mobile techs are really doing well.
They are. It's a good business to be in, and it really helps everybody out. So we love it.
Mm-hmm. We have 6 minutes left. I'm going to bring Joe back up. You ready, Joe?
Hello. Got me napping there. I might have been focusing on something, but I saw a question here by Terry Gillis. Did you catch that one, number 15? Did I miss that?
I believe I did. And Terry was actually on our focus group. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And
what was
we just mentioned that we do our Rollin on TV focus group every month. And if you want to get in on that 4 to 6 person RVing chat, let me know, Michelle at RollinOnTV.com. All right. What did he ask? Yeah, he asked a few questions.
We answered that one?
Is there a fee for inspection? That one?
No. There was one, he said, sorry, I got on late. If we already have warranty through a dealer, is it possible to cancel and get out of that without a huge penalty?
Oh.
Great question. Most warranties, including dealer policies, do have a cancellation policy. Generally, within 60 days, you're going to get all of your money back. Otherwise, you're going to run into that proration. So it's going to be, the amount of time you have left on your warranty. But almost everyone, I haven't run into any that aren't cancelable. So it's definitely something that you'll want to look into if you do want to move over. Most of those have clauses that do allow for you to cancel at any time during the course of your policy.
Mm-hmm. And Terry, I highly recommend you get a quote from Wholesale Warranties because, we believe in you guys.
Appreciate it.
So, what I was going to ask, the fact that what I like, this day and age of the internet and everything, you actually have a phone number listed. We can call and talk to you. And
Absolutely.
Is that 24 hours a day? There's somebody answers that phone?
So not 24 hours a day. We're here Monday through Saturday at Wholesale Warranties, and our claims adjusters are available Monday through Saturday as well. Usually if a repair facility is open, you're going to be able to talk to somebody at Wholesale. That's kind of the hours that we keep. But we have an 800 number, 800-939-2806. I'll plug it there. Give us a call. We do have people that are here to answer questions. And if you do want to work on a quote, we will set you up with a direct warranty expert who will be your point of contact as you look at all of the different policies and go through that process. You'll have access to their direct line. If you want to text, we'll text you. If you want to email, that works too. And if you want to talk to a human, that's how we prefer to do it. We like to get to know you guys, so we are available for that as well.
That's huge for me because we believe in that. We have people call me at 8 or 9 at night in the West Coast because our phone number is on the webpage. So we're very receptive to talking to people. But I had an instance just in the last couple of days with a company, and I won't say the name, but the fact that I was trying to inquire about something being repaired, and I had to do it online. And then I got this message back saying that thank you for your inquiry. We'll get back to you in the next 2 to 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
That is, today that's common practice with everything being online. But it's just, I can't say it enough. It's just so good having a company we can talk to.
Yeah. I have another question.
Yeah.
With Wholesale Warranties, I'd purchase directly from you rather than from the RV dealer. So would I expect my RV dealer to work with you directly when the RV is there for service, or do I need to do that? Good question.
Good question. Yeah. And so Wholesale Warranties, again, we're a broker. So we're not actually going to be the first people that you call when you want to make a claim. That's going to be directly with your warranty company, the claims department there. You'll have all of that information. But you just give that 800 number, again, toll-free number, to the mechanic at the dealer or the repair facility, wherever you go, and have them call and make a claim. And I will plug our claims process here because there's one really important part in filing a claim. Otherwise, very easy. And so you give them the 800 number. You ask them to call once the unit has been diagnosed, but not repaired. And that's the asterisk. You can't have it completely fixed and call after. You do have to call once it's diagnosed. Your mechanic will call into the warranty companies, and they will talk to a claims adjuster. They'll say, hey, this is what's broken. This is what we think we need to fix it, the amount of labor. The adjuster on the other end will say, great, let me make sure it's covered. Make sure it's covered on their end. And they'll say, perfect, you're covered. Here's your pre-authorization number. That pre-authorization number is the golden rule of extended warranties. Once you get that, you're golden. You're good to move forward. You can get everything repaired. And then at the end, your mechanic will submit a final copy of the invoice for everything that they did end up needing to do. And the claims adjuster will pay them over the phone via corporate credit card. So you are only responsible for your deductible and anything that wouldn't have been covered by the policy.
Okay. One more. I understand that I can get the RV fixed through any licensed dealer or mobile tech. Licensed how? And what kind of credentials do they need? And do I need to call Wholesale Warranties and get the okay beforehand?
No, so licensed is kind of a general term that we use just to say they are in business to work on RVs. They have a tax ID number. So if it's an established repair facility or a mobile tech that is a business, you're all set. That's what we mean by licensed. What we can't use is if you do the labor yourself, or if your friend who is not a repairman does the labor. We can't do that. We can't pay you guys directly. It does have to be a business, but that's really all that licensed means. And if there were ever an issue with that, it would probably come up on that first phone call when that mechanic, whoever's doing the repairs, calls into the warranty company. They're going to provide the name of their repair service or their business. And if there were an issue, they would catch it there. So you don't need to call us first and get permission, anything like that. You can just call and make that diagnosis, have the mechanic call and provide the diagnosis, and they'll kind of catch anything at that point.
And that would be kind of the normal procedure, right? If a mobile tech comes out and they diagnose the problem, they're going to call. They will call, or would you call?
Exactly. Nope, the mechanic calls. So as the customer, as the RVer, you should never have to talk to the warranty company. You should just be able to provide your info.
You pay the mobile tech directly.
Yep, we pay by a corporate credit card, right over the phone, or check if that's what they prefer. That doesn't happen too often, but we do not ask for you to pay and get reimbursed. That's not how our policies work.
So that's a fast payout to them. So that's excellent.
It is, because we want to make it easy on the mechanics too, right? So we want you to be able to take it anywhere, and we want them to have a good experience as well. We want everything to run smoothly and get everybody going.
That is so super important, Stacy. And the fact that I've seen friends and firsthand, sometimes companies not want to do work on a product or RV or a car because that insurance company does not pay well.
Right.
Yeah. It's true.
So now you're stuck holding a bag, and you can't get the work done.
Yeah, the mobile tech will say, no, you got to pay me directly, and then go fight with the insurance company. So having that reputation really makes things much easier.
And that's, Michelle, we say it enough, but I mean, that's why we enjoy working with companies like, Wholesale Warranties and Stacy. I mean, we build relationships with our sponsors.
Yeah, and if we can't believe in them, then we can't really do our job well.
No, and very honestly, we can't live with ourselves. I mean, we're not here. Yeah. We just want to make sure that we're giving our viewers the right leads, the right information.
All right, Joe, you have a big job now.
No, I already did it.
You already did it. Okay, so you know who the winner is.
No, I had a number in my mind when I first started.
All right. So,
okay, you want to know who the winner is?
We all want to know who the winner of the 1-year roadside assistance plan from Wholesale Warranties is. Ta-da!
Okay. Larry Freeberg Nace.
Larry Freeberg Nace. Larry, acknowledge. Tell us you're still on. Come on, Larry.
By the way, I tell our viewers that we're actually going to be going out and doing a show with Wholesale Warranties out in San Diego here the next month.
Yeah,
so
because it's such an interesting story. Yeah, it's a very interesting story. Wow, Larry, okay.
Hey.
All right, so I am here. Larry says, I am here. Thank you, Larry. So do people call you Larry Freebird? His name is Larry Freebird Nace.
So does he just give his information to Stacy? Is that what it is?
Stacy, how would you like to connect with Larry?
Sure. So if you can just shoot me an email directly, Stacy, STACI @wholesalewarranties.com. We can probably put that in the chat as well. And I'll get your RV information. We'll get you set up with that free year of roadside assistance. It comes with a lot of great stuff. So it's not just towing, though it does have great towing benefits. Got fuel delivery service, lockout, tire service. And one of my favorite things that comes with our roadside is 24-hour tech assistance with an RVDA certified technician. So if you have any kind of weird thing going on in your RV, not like a breakdown, something you need help with, but you're just wondering, what the heck is going on, 24 hours a day, you can call that number and chat with a certified technician that will help you figure out what's going on with your RV. So
let's just mention that RVDA,
you guys never cease to amaze me.
RVDA stands for RV Dealers Association. So that's a great certification to have. Right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Stacy, give me your mailing address, your email again, Stacy at
wholesalewarranties.com.
It's Stacy at Wholesale Warranties.
Yep.
STACI.
Yes.
Right? Ta-da! Did it
Perfect.
go up? Did it go up there?
I see it.
Yes.
Yep.
That's correct.
There you
All
go.
right. Now,
Yeah.
everybody on there, you can email Stacy now.
Perfect. That's okay. I'm here to answer questions. And if there is something that I didn't get to or you want clarification on, I'm happy to answer, any questions that you have. Shoot me an email and I'll get back to you.
Yeah. Okay. So in closing, let me just say, I personally am so happy to have the exclusionary warranty with you guys. It really makes our lives, peace of mind. So we believe in you, as we've said multiple times, and we thank you for being on here with us again tonight. And this video will be recorded and available on our website, and it will be shared as a video.
Perfect.
Well,
thank you so much.
Stacy, thank you very much.
Thank you. We love Rollin on TV.
Cool.
Very happy to be here.
Okay.
And watch for their show on an upcoming TV segment. It's going to be very interesting. I can't wait.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Good night, all. Thank you for
Good night, and bye.
participating. Bye now.